Have you ever felt like something inside you is falling apart, but in a way you can't fully put into words? Like your emotions are disappearing, your identity feels distant, and you no longer recognize the person in your own life. If you're going through this, you're not broken or going crazy. You might be moving through one of the most profound spiritual stages, the dark night of the soul, or ego death. They're different, but deeply connected. One dissolves your emotional world, the other dissolves your identity. Let's walk through both, gently. Stage 1, dark night of the soul, where emotional collapse, spiritual emptiness, the soul's first awakening through loss. This stage feels like falling into a deep inner night. Nothing feels meaningful anymore. The things that once gave comfort suddenly go quiet. It can feel like motivation gone, connection gone, purpose gone, color drained from everything, not because your life is failing, but because your soul is removing everything built on illusion. Carl Jung described this stage as a necessary descent. The moment the unconscious begins to rise and the old self can no longer hold. Why it happens? The dark night strips away emotional attachments, false dreams, outdated versions of yourself, the life you built out of survival. Your heart begins to awaken through emptiness, and you might think, why does everything feel hollow? Why am I losing interest in everything? Who am I without these things? This isn't depression, this is the soul clearing space. What is purpose of this stage? The dark night prepares you for something deeper. It removes external attachments so your inner truth can breathe again. It's not the end, it's the dismantling, the quiet before rebirth. Stage 2, ego death, identity collapse, the unraveling of me, the mind's awakening through surrender. If the dark night dissolves your emotions, ego death dissolves your identity. This stage is less emotional and more existential. It's when the roles, labels, beliefs, and stories you once clung to begin to fall apart. Carl Jung called this the collapse of the persona. The moment you realize the mask you wore for survival is not who you truly are. On this stage, you might feel like a stranger in your own life, detached from your old identity, unsure of what you used to believe, unanchored, like you're dissolving, aware that the person you once played no longer exists. It's not madness, it's not failure, it's not a mental breakdown. It's the death of the false self, the self built from fear, trauma, approval, expectations, survival, the one you were taught to be. And here is the deeper truth. When the ego collapses, there's fear. But beneath the fear, there's also peace, because the soul finally has room to rise. As Carl Jung suggested, when the ego falls apart, something greater wants to emerge. That something is your true self. So, how the dark night of the soul connect with ego death? The dark night removes what your soul is not. It clears attachments, illusions, and emotional identities. It wipes the slate clean, while ego death removes who your mind is not. It dissolves the mask, the persona, the old survival self. It empties the container. What remains is the true self. After the emotional collapse and the identity collapse comes a quiet awareness, the presence beneath the personality. You start to feel real again, simple again, alive again, not because you built a new self, but because you returned to your original one. So, if you're in these stages right now, breathe. You're not losing yourself, you're losing what was never you. You're not falling apart, you're falling through to something deeper. The darkness is not punishment, it's initiation. It's the soul pulling you inward so the truth can finally rise. One day soon you'll look back at this chapter and realize you weren't dying, you were becoming, you're awakening. Slowly, quietly, beautifully. I am so happy that you're watching all the way to the end here. I hope you learned something today. And if this is where you are, type "I'm awakening" in the comments. Not for me, but as a promise to your soul. I wish you all the wonderful things in your life. Your thoughts and comments are more than welcome. I'd be really happy to read them. Thanks for watching.